age-old question, how can the Google gods bless me and my career? Today, we're going to be spilling all the tea. Wrong mug. Hi everyone, welcome back to the Percent Flash channel here with Percent Shinoda. My purpose in life is to make your dream job more attainable through comedic videos. At least we're trying to do that, and a lot of value here and there. And today, we'll be answering the age-old question, how can I work at one of the coolest companies in the world? While I was job hunting and before I got my job at LinkedIn, I got several referrals to work at Google and to use them to apply. And I'm going to spill the tea at exactly how I did that. And the key to getting a referral to any company, not just Google, is relationships. And I know what you're thinking.
I only know 3 people and none of them work at where I want to work.
And that's okay. The key to this is being proactive and creating those opportunities for yourself, even when you don't have a network and you don't know anyone in the companies that you want to work for. That's totally okay. Because you know what? Referrals will change your entire life. It really levels up your recruitment game, and you'll go from sending out 200 applications to only sending out 10. So while I was applying to internships while I was a student, I seriously sent out 200 applications before I was able to get my internship at Intel, which was an incredible experience. I went from that to getting referrals to every opportunity I wanted, and instead, while I was looking for full-time roles after my graduation, I ended up only applying to 10 roles. So you can definitely see the difference, and I'll tell you a bit of stories about how I did exactly that. So while I was a student, I was really trying to figure out what I wanted to do post-graduation. I actually had no idea. But one thing I did was I decided I would go to a marketing conference just to meet people and perhaps get to learn more about the companies I was interested in. And at the marketing conference, I got dressed up super fancy. That's better. So I was super excited to get to walk around and learn more about all these different companies because all the big tech companies were there, which was primarily kind of my goal. And I saw that the Google booth was super incredible, so I decided to walk around and maybe see some of the different writings they had about the company's history and just explore a bit. And while I was particularly very intensely staring into something that was written on the booth, a man comes up to me and says, "Hey, excuse me, can you please read what's written there for me and translate it from German? I don't really know German, so I would appreciate if you could help me out." Sure. It says that 80% of searches were through mobile on Google search. That's super interesting. Thank you. Yeah. I'm actually a Google recruiter. I was wondering if you'd like to hear more about the opportunities we have at the company, if you'd like to talk with me a bit. Opportunities at Google. Sure. And lo and behold, we sat together for 30 minutes to talk about me as a candidate, what I have to offer, how I should represent myself in the application, and even some Google tips and tricks on just the application process in general. And after our conversation, because I was so myself and all of that, he gave me his contact information in case I was going to apply in the future for a referral or just a bit of extra help, which was incredible. And the truth is, I almost didn't make it to the conference that morning because I was so nervous. I just kept thinking I had no value to give others, especially because everyone was so much older than me. But you can give so much value to people, and that's really the key to building a relationship, is just being yourself and giving value to others, helping them out, and You never know who you're speaking to. I would have never guessed that he was a Google recruiter, and because of that, it opened so many doors for me, and it was able to help me land interviews at Google. Now, how I actually got the Google referral was actually super similar. I was speaking at a Microsoft event where I was holding a workshop on online presence and online marketing and things like that. And if you want to know how I actually did that as a student, make sure to check the link over here where I speak about how I made that opportunity for myself. But, anyways, I was in the middle of my workshop and I was talking about how I would love to work for a Facebook or a Google or a company that's really making a difference in the world. And I kid you not, someone,
I used to work at Google. I can get you a referral if you want to.
and I connected with her at the event. We had a phone call after as well just to catch up. And she did get me a referral to work at Google. And from there, I was able to land a lot of final interviews from there. And it was all just because I made relationships with people and I really spoke my intention into the world. So it's really important that you know of your goals and like speak of them often to people whenever you do get to meet people that way, because people will only help you if you know what your goals are and you're very open about that, because otherwise no one will reach out and try to help you, right? And because of that, people have been really proactively giving me opportunities because I've just been doing that first step and saying like, I want this. But I hear you. I hear you. 2020 has been a really weird year where none of us have been able to go outside, and I know exactly what you're thinking. How can I go to marketing conferences where I can randomly run into Google recruiters? Or how can I hold workshops where ex-employees are going to scream wonderful things at me? I get it. But you know what? It's all about getting super duper creative. These were things that I did in a creative manner to try and meet people. And you need to think in the same kind of headspace. What can I do now to be able to meet people? What's available to me in terms of resources right now where I can meet these people and they can create opportunities for me and refer me? So there are a lot of online events right now. There's webinars, there's conferences, everything is turned virtually. So let's brainstorm together. How can you actually turn that into something of an opportunity for yourself? Let's say you attended a tech conference and there's a lot of really big speakers in a lot of your dream companies. How can you get these people's attention? And one tool I really recommend you start using really actively if you're looking for a job right now or you're looking to create opportunities for yourself is use LinkedIn. It's such a powerful tool, and it is a great way for you to create those referrals and create those relationships that will get you opportunities. So let's just say you meet someone in the conference who has spoken about something to do with technology and he works at Microsoft, so you want to connect with him. You can send him an invite on LinkedIn with a personalized invite. You can send them a personalized invite with that specific connection request, telling them that you were able to see their talk, you really enjoyed it, and this is one resource that they really would appreciate because of something that they said in their specific talk or workshop. So on one hand, you're establishing that you attended their conference, but also you're mentioning how you can add value to them, how you can help them, rather than just mention that you saw their talk and that you want to connect and you want a job. Make sure that you give, and then take something before you go in for like the big question, right? And one thing I always encourage, like if you read a lot of books in a specific industry, if you have a lot of resources, if you create those resources yourself, that's some value that you can add to someone. Other things you can actually do is you can use LinkedIn even more and research people who work in those dream companies of yours. So if you do want to work at Google, you need someone to refer you, and you can get that through researching on LinkedIn. So let's say you find a really interesting person. He writes a lot of thought leadership. He writes about like very interesting topics in the field of technology and at Google, and you really want to get to know them. If you send a personalized request just mentioning that you like them and that you appreciate their work and all these things, it's not as impactful as having some form of commonality. So while I was looking for jobs and I was applying to places like LinkedIn and trying to get referrals, I really looked for people who are similar to me. So I reached out to people from my ethnic background because I come from a very small minority, and I would really talk about how much I appreciate them representing our community and really doing a good job representing us, right? And that is much more impactful than just reaching out to a stranger and saying that you appreciate their work, because probably they get that message a lot and very often. So think about, how can I spotlight myself? And that's through commonality. Have they mentioned any interests that you have commonality with? Do you come from a similar background? Do you have similar values? Do you come from the same school maybe? All these different things can really spotlight you, but also make the conversation very natural and as if you're acquainted and not just strangers, because they're more likely to want to help someone they're acquainted with than someone they don't know at all. One final tip you can do to get these referrals is to really reach out into your alumni network. So you can use LinkedIn again. If you go to your school's page and click on the alumni button, you can see all the alumni and where they work, and possibly they work at your dream companies. And that is how you know who you can reach out to ask for some help or to ask for an informational interview, to listen more about their goals and how they got to where they are right now. And again, it's about using that commonality to your advantage and having people have kind of the similarity that connects you and a bond that connects you far more than if you didn't have anything at all. Please keep in mind that the only way you're going to reach your goals, and 95% of the time that's how it's going to work, is through relationships. I can't stress enough how important relationships are to you and your dream jobs or your dream career in general. The only way you're going to get to them is if you work with other people. You start building up a big network of people you have similar values and interests to, and that's the only way you're going to have people to help you. Not just now when you're looking for a job, but in general. When you have that strong network, and especially in these tough times, your support system, your network is all you're going to have. And when you have that kind of long-term support system, when you really do need them, it's not awkward to ask. You don't need to find new people. It's all there and ready for you. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I really hope it changed your perspective on recruitment and just how to get referrals and network with people, especially when you're younger. You have value to give, you just need to tap into it and figure out some creative ways on how you can reach out to people. And if you did like this video, I'd really appreciate it if you could give it a big thumbs up down there, and also subscribe to get more content every week on career and how you can get ahead towards your dream job. And as a career coach, I have a request form down in the description on how you can reach me so we can work on your resume, your networking, anything you'd like. I'm all yours. And I'm really looking forward to seeing you again next week, and wishing you the very best until then.